I've never watched a Shoe0nHead video before. Somebody recommended I watch it. It says we need to talk about this Balenciaga and why it was canceled, or why I was canceled. I guess she got canceled. Listen, man, I don't know what's going on with the Balenciaga thing. It seems weird. I feel like I personally, and I'm not super like, I've looked into a lot of it. It just doesn't seem like it's that deep. It seems like something weird happened. But I guess, but yeah, let's get educated, I guess.
Today we are going to be talking about the creepy Balenciaga photo shoot you may have heard of.
There was like a teddy bear and like weird stuff, right?
Balenciaga Gate, the bizarre defenses of the photo shoot, and how I lost friends over it.
Whoa.
No, I'm not joking. This is going to be a wild one. So get comfy, get cozy. I made you some hot chocolate. Look, it's got marshmallows in it.
Can't do it, sis. I'm a diabetic. I have to be sugar-free hot chocolate, and I have to put broccoli instead of marshmallow. So got to be careful with that stuff, dude. Got to be careful.
So for those of you who don't know, because
what did that say?
Was in it?
The Balenciaga scandal. Okay.
So for those of you who don't know, because I sure as hell did not before all of this, Balenciaga is a high-end fashion clothing brand that sells ugly shit like this for thousands of dollars.
What? That's beautiful.
I personally do not buy Balenciaga clothing. I am not a filthy capitalist. I buy my clothes on Amazon, like a good socialist. Anyway, the company is currently under fire for their new holiday collection photo shoot. And when you see these photos, you will probably understand why. One was a little girl on a couch with a very worried...
Yeah, I mean, I get why this is inappropriate. The teddy bear thing with, like... I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. That looks like BDSM gear. I don't know what would possess them to do this. I think that they were trying to be... Honestly, because, like, I personally don't think anybody would, like, actually actively self-report like that. Like, on purpose. I feel like pedophiles are probably smarter than that, you know. That's why they're hard to catch, man. It's unfortunate. They're slippery little buggers. But so fucking dumb. What I was saying was that I think somebody was trying to be like provocative, and they were trying to be like, oh, I'm provocative, like, oh, let's do this, it'll get media attention. It certainly did, for all the wrong reasons. Well, maybe the right reasons, because like the fact that it got media attention means that people do care that this is obviously inappropriate. But I think that that's more of what it is.
Sad look on her face, surrounded by alcohol and holding a teddy bear that was wearing a full BDSM harness. There was other pictures of the girl laying on the couch, as well as another shot of another sad little girl on the bed, surrounded by Balenciaga items, chains, and a whole ass leash. A little weird, a little sussy.
Yeah,
like the pictures just gave you bad vibes. But anyway, to make things even worse, right on their homepage, right next to that photo shoot, was a photo of a purse on a desk. Seems normal, right? But the only visible paper sticking out from under the purse, the only piece of paper with any text on it, conveniently right there, was a court case related to child pornography. Creepy.
Is that real? Or did people just like Photoshop that? That's why. What is happening? Why would... Okay. Let's continue, I guess.
Coincidentally, 2 days before this all hit the internet, Balenciaga left Twitter. Not only did they delete their Twitter account, but they deleted every single photo off of their Instagram page.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
So I actually found all of this out because I saw a TikTok on my Twitter timeline by the streamer Brittany Venti, and she was talking about this. And I couldn't believe it, so I went to Balenciaga's website, and lo and behold, it was real. The creepy photo shoots, the CP document, everything was right there. So I made my own tweet about it.
Somebody said that they spelled Balenciaga wrong with B-A-A-L instead, which is like satanic symbolism. That part sounds preposterous. Really?
And this tweet winded up absolutely popping off. I had no idea the entire internet started talking about it, because once a tweet of mine starts to blow up, I just mute it and just move on with my day. My tweet was all over mainstream media. New York Post...
Probably a smart way to engage with content, I'll be real with you. Okay.
Even called me a, quote, eagle-eyed social media watchdog.
Whoa. Eagle-eyed.
This spiraled completely out of control. People were burning their Balenciaga items.
There is just no PR team that is going to get them out of this one.
Making rap songs against Balenciaga.
Now we're Balenciaga. They keep coming for our kids, now we need to follow. Designer brands and they high, I know hell is hot.
Even vandalizing.
Am I gonna get DMCA'd for that?
Balenciaga stores. Also, just so everyone knows, I am not suicidal, just in case news comes out that I was found with 3 designer bullets in the back of my head. And I don't think Brittany Venti is either, so if either of us, we do not have information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. The best part about this, though, has to be I was fact-checked by Twitter, and this is what they said. Although Shoe often makes comments to cause amusement or laughter, this is an authentic Balenciaga marketing photograph. It contains an excerpt from the U.S. Supreme Court opinion in United States v. Williams, which upheld a part of federal child pornography law.
That's real? So they actually had that in there? Wait, what? What's the explanation? I'm genuinely curious. Did Balenciaga respond? Hopefully it's in this, if they did. There's no way. Because that can't be like a coincidence, right? I mean, there's no fucking way that's just like, oh, it's an oopsie. I was just reading that. Just kind of like chilling and reading that one, and I left it in the shot. Okay.
I've never seen one of these fact checker things just be like, fact check true. I know Shoe likes to get a little silly, but she's actually serious this time. I also love that it just says Shoe. Like, Twitter and I are just on a first name basis now. Now you're probably asking, Shoe, why would a high-end fashion brand pull this, like, Where's Waldo shit? Well, there are a few theories. The most obvious one is to just look edgy and subversive. Nothing like a good old controversy to get eyes on your brand. So if this was some kind of pathetic...
That's what I would say, but like, what? The fucking brazenness to think that this is something that you should really be... Like, someone's an idiot. Someone's a fucking idiot for like, yeah, this is good. Let's do this one, of all things.
Attempt at an attention grab. They sure got attention, and much more. I wouldn't put it past corpos to do some weird attention whoring like this, and I definitely wouldn't put it past the fashion industry. The other theory is that this is just a little wink, a little nod to the other freaks in the industry. Think the Wilhelm scream.
I don't think that's... I mean, like, it could be. I'm not... But I don't think that that's what it is. I mean, like, you know... It would be an interesting self-report. I think it's really just... They thought this would be funny and edgy and provocative and like, haha, like, I got that. Like, ooh, this is so good for our brand. We're so edgy, you know?
But for, like, little St. James tourists. Finally, Balenciaga, the brand itself, came out and apologized. We sincerely apologize for any offense our holiday campaign may have caused. Our
holiday campaign? Oh my goodness! You know what they're really saying? This is where we spend the most. We sell the most this part of the year. We thought this somehow dressing a teddy bear up like the fucking the slave the gimp I have downstairs in my fucking bedroom. The gimp twink I have downstairs. That was giving that to kids. That's what we should do. Like, I don't understand. It just seems they're so fucking dumb.
Bear bags should have not been featured with children in this campaign. We have immediately removed the campaign from all platforms. We apologize for...
What was their point? Like, what was the fucking artistic message that they were trying to promote here? I don't understand it.
Displaying unsettling documents in our campaign, we take this matter very seriously and are taking legal action against the parties responsible for creating the set and including unapproved items for our spring campaign photo shoot. We strongly condemn abuse of children in any form. We stand for children's safety and well-being.
With Balenciaga
I'm in defense of using children in some forms. Like, for instance, like if I had a kid, I would be like, go get me some water or get me a beer, and then I throw the empty bottle at them and they'd go, Dad, why? That's terrible. What a terrible joke.
A firestorm over a series of disturbing new ads. All eyes and ears were on their highest profile partner for comment. Kim finally released a statement on Sunday calling herself disgusted and outraged.
Meanwhile, her ex-husband, Kanye West, after going on InfoWars and saying, quote, "There are a lot of things I love about Hitler," ran defense for Balenciaga.
No.
All of a sudden, everyone is so outraged and focused on Balenciaga, but then we're still aborting our kids. We're still fornicating. But, oh, we don't wear Balenciaga now. You shut the hell up.
So fellow paranoids...
Well, that's not him really running defense. I watched that whole conversation. That's him trying to, like, suggest that it's this is a distraction from the real issues. Like, he's going like next level conspiracy. Like, he's not running with the conspiracy that this was like a wink wink nod to you know, other predators in whatever community, SAR community. What he's saying is like, oh, there are bigger issues like abortion, and this is just like a potentially a manufactured like situation to distract us from it all. He's incredibly woke. Like he's woke. He's out woke us all, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Schizophrenic started digging and found more creepy things in the photos from Balenciaga. And this has spiraled into a much bigger conspiracy. This is the thing with conspiracies, though. They're always rabbit holes. When there's so many things that are unexplained about the world and people just kind of feel helpless and powerless, people understandably start to look for answers elsewhere. And a lot of people took this Balenciaga thing as just kind of the rich and powerful doing what they do in secret now out in the open. Do I think this is some kind of Pizzagate thing where Balenciaga's like hiding children in their basement? Do I think they are literally trafficking children? I don't think that. I don't know that. I've never claimed to know that. What I do know is that this is a huge up from a billion-dollar company. And when a billion-dollar company up, who better to come to their defense than the progressive left?
Than the United States government, baby. Here's a handout for all y'all. You made really risky 30-to-1 investments in the banking system? Well, here's a fucking bailout. Oh, you want $1,000 in the pandemic though, because you're fucking struggling to pay your bills because of a fucking pandemic that has nothing to do with you? Oh, well, you're just a poor fucking beggar, baby. That's what it comes down to, baby. Woo!
Can we stop pretending Shoe is an ally yet? Shoe0nHead belongs in a prison cell for hate speech. Shoe herself is basically a terrorist enabler at this point. You are a Nazi.
Okay.
Shoe is literally just a Nazi.
I feel like I probably don't know enough lore to say anything on this, but that's kind of funny. I'll probably have somebody crying like, you don't know this Shoe0nHead person. They're terrible. Maybe. I just don't care. I don't know them, so I'm not going to pretend to hate them.
Nazi. Yeah, Shoe is a Nazi. Shoe0nHead is a fascist and a danger to our community. This is your daily reminder that Shoe0nHead is a Nazi. I'm sick of Shoe0nHead. She needs to go.
Why do people call Shoe0nHead a Nazi? Did she have chicken and waffles with Destiny? Is that what happened? I don't know.
No more. I think that if a button to deplatform her existed, we should push it this instant. Do you think reporting her vids would do anything? Hate speech and all? How about we mass report her Twitter? F Shoe. This crosses a line. Shoe is a cum-dump enabler for fascist violence. Who'd expected anything else from a Nazi bimbo hag? She's fundamentally the enemy and should always be treated as such.
Seems like most of these don't have any real likes on them.
People like Shoe and Matt Walsh are
She used to be Republican. Ah, okay. That makes
the
sense.
types of people I believe committing acts of violence against is morally justified.
Okay.
Now, I just need to make this clear that this is in no way a representation of the entire left online. Most of the people who follow me are left-wing, and they agreed that, yeah, this photo shoot was really weird. The people who are mad about this are from a pretty small bubble, but nevertheless, lo and behold, I was apparently canceled. Now, I use the term canceled sort of sarcastically because I really wasn't canceled. It's kind of impossible to cancel me in general because I have 4 different fan bases, and they all hate each other and me. And a lot of you—
What fan bases is that? Like My Hero Academia, Naruto, Furry, and Chainsaw Man. Which one do you think smells the worst? I hear My Hero Academia fans smell the worst. Like the cosplaying fans, they stinky. They don't really shower particularly well, which is unfortunate, bro. That's why I stopped showering, because I like that show.
You guys watching this probably didn't even know all of this happened, but it was just very weird and I need to talk about this. Shoe0nHead on her way to once again use her massive platform to provide the neo-Nazis in her audience with fodder they can use to justify the murder of gay people, but this time the day after another anti-gay terror attack.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Where are the gays? My post had absolutely nothing to do with LGBT people. The Balenciaga thing in general had nothing to do with LGBT people. Where did this come from? This guy took a random response to my tweet and implied I was responsible for someone else's opinion and therefore fueling hate crimes against gay people. I'm just confused how Balenciaga posting an ad of kids holding stuffed animals and fetish gear turned into LGBT groomer discourse. Did I miss something? Look at the quote tweets and replies to her tweet thread from her followers. I have 500,000 followers on Twitter. I have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I am not the retard wrangler. There were a few people, not that many, who took—
Guys, come on, please. Can we just stop saying the R slur, dude? It makes me so sad, bro. Come on.
my tweet and ran with their own narrative of it. I cannot control the opinions of other people.
Idiot.
And a lot of these people aren't even in my audience. They're just random people on Twitter who found my tweet because it went viral. That is how a public forum works. If someone is egregiously being homophobic or harassing people in my replies, I'll just block them. There's nothing else I can do. What do you want me to do about the opinions of other people? Why don't you focus on what I said and did? Is it because I said and did nothing wrong? I mean this with the most respect possible. Posting this a day after a homophobic terror attack that happened because the trans drag groomer scare comes off in very bad taste. I think choosing to bring
Oh, yeah, that seems like kind of a weird criticism. Like, that's kind of a Kanye response, no? Like, oh, there are bigger things happening than this right now. So I guess that person's that agrees with Kanye West. So.
This to light right after the shooting is phenomenally poor taste. Shoe0nHead throwing queers under the bus right after a mass shooting to cater to her homophobic audience. There was a mass shooting in a gay club in Colorado a few days before this Balenciaga thing broke. And because there was a shooting at a gay nightclub, I can't talk about pedophilia? What? To shitpost the LGBT community on f***ing Trans Day of Remembrance is so disrespectful, I don't even know.
Damn, it's Trans Day of Remembrance? Well, guys, let me tell you a good story, all right? For Trans Day of Remembrance. I remember I used to have a Ford Explorer, my first car, and I'll tell you that unfortunately I had to retire it because the transmission went out. And so on this day of Trans Remembrance, bro, I miss that car. I miss that car. I used to have so much fun. It was a nice, fun, big car. I had a lot of fun experiences in there. I had sex with my first girlfriend in there. That didn't go very well, though. Hey, you can't win them all, right? You know, it was just cool. That's where I went through my hoe phase. What if I got the Kia Soul? Like you can't do a hoe phase in a 2017 Kia Soul. You know, you just can't do it. You just can't do that. It doesn't work out. I did it once though with my wife and I. We banged in that car. It wasn't that bad. Actually, a little more spacious than you'd expect. But yeah.
What to say. Same vibe as criticizing veterans on Veterans Day.
Bro,
Let me
do
get
it.
this straight. Criticizing a fashion brand for pedo-baiting on Trans Day of Remembrance is the same as criticizing veterans on Veterans Day? Bro, you don't even need the far right at this point. You're doing their job for them. What the f? Even if I saw it from their perspective, like even if I removed my brain and replaced it with a little toy monkey with symbols or whatever they have going on up there, even if I saw it from their point of view, if the issue they have with all of this is that I shouldn't be talking about this at a time where gay groomer rhetoric is popular, why aren't they mad at Balenciaga for doing an ad like this at the time the gay groomer thing is popular? Why aren't they directing their anger at the brand? Why are they shooting the messenger? The worst part about this is that this tweet came from a YouTuber who I've been friends with for years. Why is this person, who I thought was my friend, doing this unhinged Stretch Armstrong reach to imply I am responsible for the murder of LGBT people? This isn't how you would treat a friend. This isn't criticism. This isn't a—
I'm responsible for the murder of some LGBTQ people. Murdering that delicious bussy, if you know what I'm saying, baby. Fucking, I'll smack it and bang it, bro. Boom. Got him.
joke. This is disgusting. I just don't understand, like, if you had a problem, why didn't you come to me in private? Why did you have to make it into some public sideshow epic dunk for the world to see? Maybe this is karma, because I've dropped friends over politics before. Because honestly, I can't find any other explanation for this. But this wasn't even political. Like, I couldn't think of an optically worse thing to drop someone over. Like, I know you used to be right-wing. Personally, I can't relate. But not everything related to pedophilia has to do with gay people. Shoe needs to stop with the conspiracy posting. Ah yes, the conspiracy. The conspiracy that the fashion industry is f***ed up and weird. The conspiracy that the powerful elites are abusing children. That conspiracy. The worst part is she pretends to be gay so she can yell homophobe when you call her out. I'm convinced Shoe has no real political—
Wait, is she gay or something? I mean, let's be real though. Like, incoming based opinion, all women are kind of gay. I mean, it's just like, it's just true. Every woman's like, yeah, it's you know, guys aren't allowed to be kind of gay. Guys aren't allowed to kiss their friends when they're young, and you know what I mean, and just learning the world. You know, girls, they don't get shamed for it, but God forbid, you know, I have a little boyfriend when I'm fucking young. It's all, oh, that's gay. You got to stop doing that. And they beat me with a belt, send me to a fucking camp, bro. It's fucked up. Double standards, dude. Women are privileged. That's the most unhinged rant I've ever gotten in my life. Yeah, okay, let's continue.
Opinions and just says / believes whatever sounds good to her. Isn't that what an opinion is? Begging people to finally realize Shoe is literally just right-wing. Shoe is a conservative, no matter how many lefties try to say otherwise. There's a term coined by Lindsay Ellis that I think fits Shoe. She's a diet Nazi.
If the shoe
is a right-wing
fits.
propagandist. She is likely paid to be so, either directly or indirectly. I f***ing hate Shoe. She's not a leftist. She's a fascist who wants healthcare. Does this look like a fascist to you? She needs to be kicked out of the left like yesterday. She is a fascist. If you are denying it at this point, you are just a simp. Shoe0nHead is a right-wing paid propagandist infiltrating—
No, Papa, we're not all gay in some way. Yes, you are. I'm just kidding. But I think it's more acceptable for women to like explore their sexuality than it is for men. I think that's definitely true. You see a lot more men getting shamed for exploring their sexuality when they're younger than like girls. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of the truth. That's a whole conversation for another day, but you know.
leftist spaces. She's a calculated and insincere plant, and she needs to be excommunicated. We need to boot Shoe from the left. She isn't a leftist. At this point, we just have to not let Shoe exist on the left anymore. Inevitably, she is going to leave the left, and it will not be surprising. So first of all, if I was going to leave the left over left-wing people being mean to me, I would have left the left like 8 years ago. I know it's hard for these people to understand because their extent of politics is quite literally Discord servers and Reddit communities. You cannot be kicked out of opinions. Like, I could call myself a right-winger right now, but I would be the shittiest right-winger
or left now
ever, probably on account of the whole, I don't know, socialism thing. The whole being a socialist might get in the way. But more importantly, I don't know what about me calling shit like this.
Is she a socialist? Is that— I don't understand what's happening. Is that what the based Bernie Sanders socialist, though? Is that what we're talking about?
Out makes me not left-wing. It genuinely feels like some massive psyop. Like, I want workers' rights and for people to have their basic necessities met. I didn't sign up for this weird-ass shit. I'm just so tired of, like, trying to prove to these people that I'm left-wing. I'm just tired of being like, no, you don't understand. I voted for Bernie in 2016 and in 2020. I believe this and I believe that. I'm tired. I'm too old for this shit. I am exhausted. These people just want me to be some, like, progressive little shit lib, rising from the ashes of, like, the anti-SJW world. They want me on my hands and knees groveling and apologizing for making, like, stupid level 1 baby edgy jokes about attack helicopters 5 years ago. They want me saying we need to destigmatize pedophilia or want me simping for the CIA or whatever the f these people are up to nowadays. And it's like, no, not gonna happen. Sorry. What's so funny is a lot of these content creators do agree with me, but they won't say so.
I know somebody that's a really big advocate for decriminalizing pedophilia. My understanding is that R. Kelly made a song from prison or jail or whatever the fucking difference is. Who cares? But where he said that, yeah, it's true. This is what I heard, so you correct me if I'm wrong. He said that, yeah, it's all the accusations are true, but it's just not pedophilia, and you're wrong. And that's an incredibly base take to say that pissing on a 14-year-old, that it happened, but it's not pedophilia, as like a 30-something-year-old man or however old this fucking degenerate scum piece of shit that should be dead is. Yeah.
So in public, like they DM me and they're like, oh, you're so right, instead of just doing it publicly because they fear their own audiences. It's literally so sad. It's like an abusive relationship. But I just want to go back to the more important, less personal aspect of this whole thing, and that is the connection between pedo and LGBT. So of course there are a lot of people on the right wing who are comparing the two. They have been doing this since the 1950s. The pedo smear has been thrown at gay people for decades. There's always been people on the right who will compare all the things I talk about, like the maps and stuff, to gay people. But it's very clear from my content, if you've watched my content, which I really don't think a lot of these people who are mad at me have done, it's very clear from my content that I've always pushed back on this. But what is new to me is now liberals coming out and saying I can't talk about this stuff, and that talking about it is somehow inherently anti-gay, which when you think about it is really, really bad. Shoe has never been a leftist. She's a right-wing reactionary trad wife who has an unhealthy obsession with making false equivalences between LGBTQ people and pedophiles. So first of all,
I mean, is that something that she's done before? I just don't know. Obviously, she probably wouldn't be the best source of information for that. But like, what is okay?
let's be very clear here. I have been doing the opposite of this my entire career. This has been one of my focuses on this channel for years. And do you know what one of the core messages of a lot of those videos were? They are now trying to squeeze themselves into the LGBT community. And do not be mistaken, the LGBT community ain't having that shit. You cannot sit with the LGBT community. You can't sit with us!
Also, the only thing I'll say, my only criticism of this is that, like, generally speaking, Maps has never been an actual, like, true thing that caught traction. It's mostly been, like, 4chaners pretending that it's real and, like, trolling so well that people think that the Maps are actually trying to exist. I understand that there are people who, like, are trying to, like, you know, advocate for more empathy for pedophiles. I get that whole thing. You know, I don't think it's a very nuanced take anymore. Well, it's a pretty common take nowadays. It's a take I agree with, that specifically like, oh, we should help these people get the help that they need before they offend, so that they have a less likely chance to offend. I agree with that because I think, you know, once you offend, I mean, I feel like there's no going back. My understanding is like the rates of reform are like so low for people who've molested children. after they done it. But like to me, it's like, okay, you know, you were born like that. You were born with some addiction, or you were molested, and it caused you like to you know, manifest your trauma as like fucking being a molester, which unfortunate shit. So before you, while you get the urges, if we can, you know, provide some kind of support structure for you to before you act on your urges, if we could provide a support structure to you, then like go to a therapist so that you can work that shit out. Like I'm down for that. That's something that I can agree with, you know. But outside of that, that's pretty much it for me.
And for the people who go, must slippery slope, you're fueling the delusions that they did actually successfully break their way into the community. They're latching on a movement that is currently, finally, seeing acceptance, which makes them snakes.
There's literally nothing more dangerous about pedophilia than any other sexual attraction when you think about it.
You hear that, guys? They're
What do I think about? If I don't think about it, that's fucking crazy. I don't even know how we'd help them expect to lock them up so they can't touch anyone and medicate. Wait, I don't even get how we'd help them except to lock them up so we can't touch anyone and medicate them. If it was up to me, you wouldn't even be allowed in society thinking about kids that way. I get what you're saying, but like think about it from this perspective. Okay, check this out. Just listen to it. Let's say we decided to make and this is gonna be a little extreme, but I just want you to follow me. Let's say we just made it a law, like a based law, where it's like we're just gonna kill every pedophile. We're just gonna kill them all. If you're attracted to kids, even if you haven't acted on your urge, we're gonna kill you. Okay. So how many people do you think are going to come over and say, well, I'm a pedophile, kill me? Probably none. The only time you're going to find out that they're a pedophile is after they've molested a child. And then at that point, if you're going to kill them, what they're going to do is they're going to kill the child after they rape the child, because now they don't want to leave a witness. So you run into these kind of these pretty fucked up areas. If you say, like, listen, if you are somebody with these urges and you haven't offended and you come forward, we'll provide you with mental health support. Some of them will probably come forward, right? And now you're able to have them come forward and ask for help before they offend, because they're not going to be able to manage that urge alone. And you're going to have the outcome of fewer kids getting raped. That's where I'm coming from. Does that make sense? Because I look at it more as like what's the best outcome for kids. And like that's what I think the best outcome for kids are. And there's also like a much deeper argument, and is that like it's really fucked up. But then like imagine there's a kid getting molested by like their uncle or something, or like their aunt or their uncle. If they think that person's gonna get killed, but they should because they're getting molested. But if they think that they're gonna get killed if they tell on them, they're less likely to like tell on them. I know that sounds so weird, and like I don't give a fuck about offenders. Like we should kill offenders, but like, you know, these are like some of the arguments that people operate with when it comes down to like, you know, trying to have the best outcomes for a lot of this shit.
There is no difference between an adult consensually having sex with another adult and an adult having sex with a child. Amazing! We learned so much on this channel.
But right now, since gays and transgender people have already gotten much of their rights all throughout the world, I think it's time for to have their turn.
Well, it's not even true that gays have gotten their rights throughout the world. Like that's not even true. Maybe in America, and there's still like some social aspects of it. And we're still fighting the gay marriage fight. But base fucking delusion.
Shut up! This right here is what triggers my timbers. Gay, consenting adults can do whatever they want with other gay, consenting adults.
Hey, what if I'm not actually gay? I just like to fuck guys. You ever think about us in your in your inclusivity? Not all guys that fuck guys are gay, you know. Some of us are closeted. Fucking homophobe, bro. Jesus.
Sexuality. Children aren't a gender, so it's not a sexuality, but like I've said before, cannot go through with their sick fetish without harming anybody. Speaking as a gayman, I believe we should include the P. To do otherwise is to betray the principles that give us our rights.
What?
For the last f***ing time.
You can't sit with us!
Yeah, the world is just America, remember? True. You got it. You're right.
My main point in a lot of those videos was, you can't sit with us. Nearly a decade of content of me going, this is really bad, the LGBT community isn't defending this, only for a chunk of the left to suddenly go, stop right there, Hitler! Shoe never seems to go after right-wing shit. I wonder why that is. Okay, I only make maybe like, 5 videos a year? It should
Well, that, I mean, like, listen, I'm not saying it is a good criticism because I don't know her specifically, but that could be a decent criticism. Like, yeah, if you're only doing certain content, like, yeah, it could mean that you have a bias. Doesn't mean that's like bad that you have a bias, but it could mean you have like a little bit of a bias. Like, oh, she only calls out like left wingers. I guess I don't even know if that's true. But like, yeah, the type of content that you choose or what you bounce yourself off of can, you know, be indicative of some kind of a bias for sure. For sure.
It shouldn't be that hard to go onto my page and scroll and just see this video, which is about exactly that. Like, it's right there. You don't even have to scroll. It's right there. Like, I made my prostasia video about a year ago. Remember my prostasia video where I exposed some child protection organization? What if I posted that video today? Would I be bombarded with these same people and called a Nazi and a reactionary and whatever? Because the only people that were doing that last year was the organization itself. The organization was calling me alt-right for exposing them. That's you. That's you right now. It's a pattern from Shoe that she had for years. Even though she didn't say gay groomer out loud, it can be seen as a dog whistle. Shoe may not have said anything about LGBTQ plus people out loud, but we can hear the dog whistle from miles away. Shoe knows exactly what she's doing. 31-year-old knows exactly what she's doing. That's the thing. She did not mention gay and trans people. We know that she is thinking it, and so does her audience. It's called a dog whistle. She hides behind technically not saying anything explicit. Stop falling for her dog whistling tactic. Just because she didn't say gay doesn't mean that it's not what she's implying. The sheer amount of people who still—
I mean, that could be true, but like, what's the entire context? What are we referring to here?
Still don't know that Shoe0nHead is a dog whistle. Her name is a dog whistle. It always was. It's so funny to me that you can literally breathe and these people will find a way to make it a dog whistle, but a child could be holding a teddy bear in bondage gear in a—
Let me tell you something, bro. My mother's dogs think that when I fucking breathe, it's a dog whistle. I literally cannot adjust my fucking crotch without those dogs going. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, leave me the fuck alone, dude. I have an itch. It's fucking incredible, dude. It pisses me the fuck off.
Fashion ad, and they call you a crazy conspiracy theorist for pointing it out. And they love to do this gaslighting shit, right? They try to make you feel crazy for thinking something like most normal people would think is weird. Literal soup brain. Leather isn't innately related to BDSM. What's wrong with a child seeing BDSM gear?
No.
The child does not know it's sexual. What harm comes from this? Who gives a shit, dude?
I mean, first of all, maybe you could try that argument. I guess the kid doesn't know. But why should we expose our kids to sexual shit? That's like saying, like, oh, put your kid in a fucking pair of bra panties because they don't know it's sexual. Like that. What a weak argument. Like, what a weirdo. So fucking stupid. I feel like having that take, like, there seems to be people that hate Shoe0nHead, whatever. I don't know why. I don't know this person very well, you know. But it's one of those things where, like, you'll be hated so much that even if you have like a reasonable take, people will be like, no, I disagree with you because I fucking hate you. And like that's kind of that's some people's personality is to just hate on other people. So
it's a kid holding a teddy bear. How traumatizing. People love to misunderstand fashion. It's so tiring.
Oh, I don't know if you know what a dog whistle is. Just like something that you say that has like a double meaning. That you know, so like a racist dog whistle. It's like some people will talk about how talking about how we need to have like stronger borders because we need people with American culture in America. Some people talk about how that's like a dog whistle because some people actually believe that, but then other people actually just want to get like immigrants out of America and want it to make a white America. And it depends on like who you're talking to, like who will get what message out of it. That's kind of like what a dog whistle is, if you didn't know that.
It's not pedophilia, it's fashion, Mom. Look it up. Is putting a leather harness on a dog BDSM too?
This child is not being mutilated.
Could be.
It is just holding a bear that happens to have a leather strap on it. Petco.com. Oh no, they're selling pedophile wear.
I'm sorry, you can't fool a degenerate. That is a BDSM harness.
Why be so like why not just be like, yeah, that's sussy. Dude, why are you moving me, bro? That is weird. I don't understand. Like, even if you think it's not pedophile, like, even if you don't think that that's their intention, which I don't know that I think that they were just trying to be like an edgy, fucking dumb marketing campaign. Like, understand that it's inappropriate. You know, like it's fucking that's weird, dude. It's weird.
Maybe Shoe0nHead sees a piece of leather next to a child and starts getting a little, you know, riled up. Maybe it's a little bit of projection on Shoe0nHead's part.
Oh, you think?
Come on, bro. Sis, fuck. I'm overcorrecting. I know they're a trans woman. I tell everybody, bro. Sorry. Come on, person. You don't have to call him a pedophile because you disagree with them. I don't like that. That's inappropriate. It's kind of shitty. Because I think that like that's all you're projecting. Like maybe you're a pedophile is kind of like what she was insinuating. I think that's shitty, bro. Fuck. I say it for everybody, and it's like I like overcorrecting. I don't want to be like disrespectful, but that's weird. Anyway, sorry, but yeah, I think that's like kind of shitty. Just like my group that doesn't understand the pathing of this fucking dungeon because they're just all a bunch of dumb assholes.
Think this looks weird? Well, you must be a pedophile yourself. Wow, got him. This shit went viral on like normie Twitter and Facebook and TikTok. There were like Zoomer girls on TikTok like, oh my god, this shit crazy, for real, this shit not bussin'. And you're over here pretending it's perfectly fine and not weird and only Nazis and pedophiles would have a problem with this. Okay, just reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. Balenciaga better be paying you people good, because if they're not, that's even more pathetic. They should at least throw you like one of those $3,000 high-heeled Crocs or whatever the f***. Like the brand itself even admitted it was weird.
Is that real? My wife loves... Oh, I gotta go to the Croc store and get my wife a Croc gift card for Christmas. That is a good gift for my wife. Okay, thank you, Shoe0nHead. Okay.
Yet you're over here running defense for them for free! Even more annoying than the gaslighting has to be the whataboutism. I see whataboutism all the time when I make content. When I talk about police brutality, what about violence against police officers? When I talk about men being cringe, what about women being cringe? When I talk about women being cringe, what about men being cringe? You can always tell when someone doesn't really have a point or they are low-key defending the thing you're talking about when they do this what about shit. And every time you want to talk about weirdo shit involving children, there's like 12 motherfuckers that crawl out of Iraq. Like, notice how they never talk about child-
Out of Iraq? Wow. I didn't know there was so much real estate there.
beauty contests. All this political theater from you, yet not one mention of banning child beauty pageants. All this outrage, but nothing about child-
I mean, true, child beauty pageants I think are very toxic, but I feel like this is over the line of child beauty pageants, you know what I mean? I think this is a weird whataboutism kind of a thing. I guess it's a good point, but not like, why not both? Right? I don't know. Okay.
Child beauty pageants, Oh yeah? You're talking about this bad thing? What about this other bad thing? What is this, the all lives matter of f***ing pedophilia? Multiple things can be bad at once. But it's not 2005. We're not middle-aged mothers from the South. Nobody is out here defending child beauty pageants. This is so weird because Shoe has talked about kink and BDSM in her videos before. She's a hypocrite. I could be wearing a full BDSM harness.
Well, it's like adult shit. Adults can do whatever they want, you know? As long as it's consensual. So, who cares?
Right now. I could be wearing a full GIMP.
Adults can do whatever they want as long as it's consensual and as long as I get to watch.
Suit. But it would not matter because my content is not made for children. I am an adult who makes content for adults. You either have a room temperature IQ or you're coping. Shoe is Catholic but never calls out the pedophilia of the Catholic Church. Has June ever talked about pedophilia in the church? I can't find her mentioning it.
Well, I mean, I don't think that like there's any okay, so there seems to be acceptability within like the organization, the Catholic Church, in some capacity of like kind of normalizing this shit and making it like just covering it up. But I think that most people know that it's like not okay, so we're calling it out. It's a little bit different, but
again, these people don't watch my content. Hell, I even had a joke about it in my Prostasia video. It's literally tax exempted. It is a tax exempted club. So it's a church. Also, hold on. Remember Cuties? Remember when Cuties came out? Cuties, which, much like the Balenciaga thing, had nothing to do with LGBT people. And like a dozen articles came out from liberal journalists about how like everyone criticizing it is alt-right. Cuties, the extraordinary Netflix debut that became the target of a right-wing campaign.
Ooh,
the controversy
right-wing.
surrounding it seems to be propaganda fueled by non-types and anti-Semites.
interesting. I mean, my understanding, again, because I haven't seen it, because it sounds kind of gross, but it's a little more than kinda, I guess we'll say. But I haven't seen it. But my understanding is like the marketing in the West, or not the West, excuse me. The marketing in America was very like weirdly sensationalized and sexualized, whereas like in other countries like Europe or whatever, is that that's not a country, but whatever. Is it? I don't know. I don't care right now. Other areas. Europe's not a country, right? No. There are countries in Europe. That makes sense. That's true. Okay, I know things. Was more normal, you know? So I think that people had valid criticisms of it.
Audiences hate it because there's a moral panic right-wing campaign targeting it. Wrong. Leftists like Shoe0nHead and Vosh are critical of the film. Shoe0nHead is a notorious alt-right asshole. Also, you just tagged 2 aggressive, horrible accounts. Please delete that tweet. You're putting people on the thread at risk. And was Cuties not basically beauty pageant shit? It had nothing to do with gay people. And once again, we were calling it out. And where were you? Calling us f***ing Nazis. It doesn't f***ing matter. It doesn't f***ing matter if it's gay or straight. It doesn't f***ing matter if it's a giant corporation or a Netflix movie. They will find a way to call me alt-right for talking about this shit. The absolute urgency and ease at which these people jump on the most optically disastrous swords is both horrifying and incredible to me. The term map went from something on Tumblr that I talked about 7 years ago to now real hired academics using the term.
Stigma against maps is a problem in part because it makes maps think that they're monsters. That's really problematic in terms of map
fucked up.
It's really hard to cope when you think you're a terrible person because you have attractions that you can't change. And I'm a licensed.
So I've covered both of them talking about this stuff. The problem, first of all, I'm not with like this whole idea of like maps. I don't think that we should like, I don't think that we should destigmatize so much that like that becomes like a thing. I do understand. Again, I brought it up before. I understand trying to get these people help before they offend, so that they have a less chance, like a less likely chance of offending. Right? I totally get that. I get that. But like, I feel like it's going too far when you say like, oh, let's call them maps, because I get the logic is like, don't make them feel ashamed, so that they like have an easier time getting help. But I just feel like there needs to be a certain level of like stigma on this thing. Like I understand getting people help, but like it still should be stigmatized. It's not a good thing. There needs to be a certain amount of social shame for, you know, bad behavior, even if that behavior is something that you know they have like a fucking mental issue with, you know. So it's just like it's too nice. It's too reform culture. Like I'm down for some reform culture, but like I'm not down for reforming fucking murderers. I'm not down for shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, how do you reform somebody who's already proven that they can't be left into society without fucking, you know, taking away the ability, the autonomy of another person, like that kind of shit.
Professional counselor and sex therapist in Erie, Pennsylvania, and today I want to talk about minor attracted persons. Most folks are making incorrect assumptions about them without actually knowing much about them, and those assumptions create harm for an already marginalized population.
Notice the familiar.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call them marginalized either. Like I was a little too empathetic for that group, you know.
Language they're using. They are co-opting progressive language. And I want the community, I want people in general to get ahead of this. But no, apparently MAP is just a right-wing psyop and I'm just a reactionary and blah 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 blah. I feel like the crazy scientist in the beginning of a disaster movie that nobody believes. And then it's like too late. And what's upsetting to me as a socialist,
Oh, did you go to the school with that person in it? That's fucking nutty, dude. That's nuts. That's fucking crazy. That's crayons and markers.
Me is the progressive movement, or whatever this is, I don't even know what this is, in the near future is going to wind up at the least ignoring and at the most defending some real disgusting shit in the near future in fear of giving the right ammo. There are right-wing people who are constantly calling everything and anything to do with pedophilia, like gay shit, LGBT shit. Yes, I get it. I have a bi flag in the background of some of my videos and I get comments like, nice groomer flag. Like, I get it. But how
you'd probably get better reception if you had like a hello flag in the background of your videos. I think that's kind of like the problem that you're having. But, you know, gotta think be a little smarter.
long should we not say anything in fear of giving them ammo? Because this was probably the most clear-cut example of something weird and gross, completely unrelated to gay people, and these people still did damage control for it. If anything would ever give the right ammo, it's the way you acted so quickly to defend this shit. And yes, by implying I can't talk about it, or I'm committing scholastic terrorism, or whatever the f the new buzzword is, that is defending this. This shit that anyone with eyes can see is creepy. I have been talking about this stuff all of my career, and I have a great track record. I was talking about maps years ago, and now there's hired academics using the term. I warned about Amos Yee, who said I was too mean to and he was arrested for having CP. I exposed Prostasia, then they shut down their forum so young maps could no longer enter it. I helped get the word out about this Balenciaga thing, and even the brand itself had to admit it was creepy and is now doing an investigation into it. I don't care if you yourself don't want to talk about this stuff. I don't care. You do you, I will do me. But all I ask is that you stay out of my way when I am doing me. And just know that I am not sorry,
You got it,
I
sister.
did nothing wrong, and I will do it again. Goodbye.
All right. Well, that was interesting. Interesting introduction to Shoe0nHead. I always thought that they were somebody who had like some kind of a mental disorder who used to eat random things off the street, but you know, I got that one horribly wrong, clearly. Shoe Nice. I'm probably thinking of Shoe Nice. Yeah, that was the joke, my friend. I don't actually think that.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.